The individual resembles Kevin. Jenny squinted at the screen and then laughed, asserting that the individual in question was undoubtedly a billionaire, while Kevin was far more relatable. Emma frowned, feeling a persistent resemblance, but dismissed it, admonishing herself not to be absurd. A few days later, Emma invited Liam to her apartment for dinner, wishing to express her gratitude for his kindness and encouragement, which had profoundly impacted her. Upon Liam's arrival, carrying a bouquet of wildflowers, Emma greeted him warmly, stating that he need not have brought anything. Liam shrugged, presenting the flowers as a token of appreciation for the invitation. The meal was simple yet sincere, consisting of spaghetti and garlic bread served on mismatched plates. As they dined, Emma shared her intentions to submit her sketches to a local art competition, inspired by Liam's earlier commendation. "You have done so much for me," she remarked. Emma expressed her gratitude, noting that it was not solely related to the artistic endeavors, but also highlighting your refreshing humility. Liam's smile momentarily wavered before he swiftly regained composure. "I'm merely being myself," he stated, taking a sip of his water as Emma began her discourse. Liam's guilt weighed upon him. She trusted and admired him, yet their relationship was founded on deception. Nevertheless, he reassured himself that he was not prepared to jeopardize her affection. However, the truth has a tendency to emerge. A week later, Emma participated in a prestigious charity event, assisting in the coordination of auction items to benefit underprivileged youth. While she was occupied arranging a table of silent auction items, a wave of excitement surged through the room as someone exclaimed, "Who's that?" Volunteers inquired while waving toward the entryway. Emma's eyes widened as she observed Liam entering the grand ballroom, impeccably attired in a tailored suit. His confidence exuded a commanding presence, causing her heart to race. She pondered his presence as she witnessed the event organizer approach Liam, warmly shaking his hand before addressing the audience. "Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to welcome our distinguished guest of honor, Mr. Liam Parker, whose generosity has facilitated this occasion." The clapping was overwhelming. Yet, Emma scarcely registered it as the realization struck her with the force of a tidal wave. Liam Parker, the technology magnate, the individual I believe to be Kevin. Emma waited for the event to decelerate before approaching Liam, who was positioned near a cluster of attendees, his customary composure preserved, though his eyes widened marginally upon her arrival. "We need to talk," she stated, her tone firm yet frigid. He nodded, guiding her to a secluded corridor outside the ballroom. Emma crossed her arms, her gaze piercing. "So, you are Liam Parker, the billionaire. Would you care to elucidate why you masqueraded as someone else?" Liam exhaled, running a hand through his hair. "I did not intend to deceive you when we first encountered each other. It was an inadvertent mistake. You believed I was another individual, and I appreciated the ease of our conversation. For once, someone did not perceive me as a mere financial asset." Emma's jaw clenched, indicating that you chose to continue the charade, allowing me to develop feelings for an imaginary person. "No," Liam stated hastily, "that whatever I expressed and all we shared was genuine. I only lacked the means to convey the reality without risking your departure," implying that it was without dismantling the illusion. Emma retorted, her voice rising. "Are you aware of how humiliating this is? I placed my trust in you, Liam. I believed you were distinct. I am indeed distinct." Liam implored, his voice laced with desperation. "Emma, you are the sole individual who has perceived me for my true self, rather than my possessions. I did not wish to forfeit that." Emma's eyes brimmed with tears, yet she blinked them away, shaking her head in acknowledgement. Liam's heart plummeted as she turned and departed, her steps swift and determined. He extended his hand as if to halt her, but froze, recognizing that there was nothing he could articulate to mend what he had shattered that evening. Emma sat in her room, gazing at her sketches yet unable to concentrate. Her mind was a tempest of emotions: anger, betrayal, and sadness. Jenny gently knocked on the door before entering. "Are you okay?" Emma shook her head, tears streaming down her cheek. "No, not really." Jenny sat next her and embraced her. "Do you wish to discuss it?" Emma paused before whispering. "I am uncertain whether I was enamored with him or the idealized version I believed I knew." Jenny embraced her more firmly, stating, "Regardless of the situation, You deserve someone who is truthful. Do not accept anything inferior. As Emma lay awake that night, gazing at the ceiling, she resolved to safeguard her heart. Liam Parker may have exhibited charm and kindness, yet the betrayal inflicted profound emotional pain. For the time being, she needed to prioritize her own well-being and sever ties with Liam and his deceit. Liam sat at his desk, gazing out at the city lights that typically provided solace. Tonight, however, they appeared cold and remote. He incessantly replayed Emma's words in his mind, burdened by the gravity of his transgression. He had not merely lied. He had shattered the trust of the one individual who regarded him as more than his wealth and status, and now she was absent. I must rectify this, he murmured to himself, addressing his assistant. Cele entered the room, clutching a steaming cup of coffee after a prolonged night. Liam regarded her with a resolute gaze, stating, "I require advice." Claire raised an eyebrow, fascinated. "That is novel. What is the current status?" "It pertains to Emma." Liam stated that he elucidated the events, his tone imbued with remorse. CLA attentively listened and then nodded. "If she is as exceptional as you assert, you must demonstrate, rather than merely articulate, her significance to you. Deeds convey more than apologies." On the following day, Liam knocked on the door of Emma's flat, and to his astonishment, Jenny answered it. "You've got some nerve," she remarked. With her arms crossed, "I require your assistance." Liam conveyed his tone earnest. "Please." Jenny hesitated, then sighed. "Fine, you have 5 minutes inside." Liam articulated his intention to acquire the modest gallery that Emma had always aspired to possess and populate it with her artwork, which he had been discreetly accumulating. He recognized the significance of her sketches and drawings to her. "I want her to realize that I have faith in her," Liam stated, "and that I will do whatever is necessary to rectify the situation." Jenny scrutinized him for an extended period before affirming that she merits someone who will advocate for her. "Do not jeopardize this opportunity." It required weeks of meticulous preparation. Liam dedicated himself to the project, collaborating with the gallery owner to orchestrate the acquisition, thoughtfully curating Emma's artwork. Each piece was elegantly framed and illuminated, metamorphosing the venue into an homage to her artistry and vision on the day of the unveiling. Liam left a handwritten letter on the front desk, confirming that everything was prepared before departing. While coming home from work, Emma was approached by Jenny, who urgently insisted, "You need to come with me." Confused, Emma inquired, "Why?" Jenny replied, "Just trust me." Upon arrival, Jenny compelled Emma toward the little gallery she had long liked. Emma halted, captivated by the notice on the door that read, "Special Exhibit, The Art of Emma Brooks." Her heart raced as she entered the chamber, which was filled with her drawings. Landscapes, portraits, and whimsical sketches. She had invested her essence into them. The gallery was devoid of visitors, save for a solitary note positioned on a pedestal at the room's center. Emma grasped it, her hands quivering. "Your art merits the world, just as you merit honesty, love, and someone who recognizes your true self. Allow me the opportunity to try once more." Liam's eyes welled with tears as she surveyed her surroundings, recognizing each piece and every brush and detail, a manifestation of her dreams and tribulations. At that moment, Liam emerged from behind a divider, his demeanor wary yet optimistic. "Emma," he commenced, his voice unwavering despite the passion evident in his eyes. "I recognize that I do not merit your forgiveness. However, I could not allow you to depart without demonstrating the significance you hold for me." She pivoted to confront him. Her sobs cascaded uncontrollably. "You shattered my trust." "Liam, I am uncertain if I can ever forget Liam's unwavering look. Nonetheless, I am committed to spending my life atoning for my actions, should you permit me. You are the sole element in my existence that seems authentic." Emma averted her gaze, her heart conflicted. "You made me feel inadequate, as though you doubted my capacity to handle the truth." "That was not my intention," Liam replied, his voice wavering. "I feared you would perceive me differently if you learned the truth, and I was terrified you would abandon me before I had the opportunity to demonstrate my worth." Emma paused, her emotions tumultuous. She loved him, a fact she could not contest, yet re-establishing trust felt like a perilous endeavor. "Perhaps," she finally responded, her voice gentle, Some things merit a second chance. Liam's eyes illuminated. Then Emma raised a hand. I am not asserting that it will be facile, she added, but I am prepared to endeavor. Liam approached, his voice imbued with appreciation, stating that it was all he could ever desire. As they stood in the gallery amidst Emma's artwork, the tension between them diminished somewhat. However, as Emma departed that evening, she cast a fleeting glance back, her expression inscrutable. Liam observed her departure, his heart burdened yet optimistic. He had initiated his advance, but the subsequent action was now hers to choose. Emma sitting by her bedroom window, she gazed out at the tranquil street. In her hands lay the note Liam had left at the gallery, the lines inscribed in her memory. Let me try again. She had devoted days to revisiting his deceit, his contrition, and the extent of his efforts to demonstrate his affection. The gallery showcasing her artwork was not merely a grand gesture. It epitomized his unwavering belief in her, even during her moments of self-doubt. Her emotions were conflicted. One part yearned for self-preservation, to retreat before facing potential pain, while a more substantial part could not disregard the reality of her enduring love for him. With a deep breath, she seized her coat and phone. The cafe was tranquil, its welcoming ambience a stark contrast to the anxious energy Emma experienced as she entered. She noticed Liam seated at the same table they had occupied at their initial encounter. He glanced up as she neared, his expression a blend of hope and apprehension. Emma, he murmured quietly, standing as she approached the table. Hi, she answered, her voice calm despite the fluttering in her breast. They sat down, a silence lingering between them for a while before Liam started. I didn't know if you'd come, he admitted. I almost didn't, Emma said candidly, meeting his gaze. Her tone was strong yet benevolent. Liam, over the past few weeks, I have contemplated if I can trust you again and have come to a realization. I do not require extravagant gestures or material proof. I only need honesty. Liam leaned forward, his voice earnestly. You have my assurance, Emma. No more secrets, no more deceptions. Only my presence for as long as you desire. Emma examined his expression for any indication of doubt. All she perceived was honesty. Gradually, she nodded. Okay, let us attempt again. Relief illuminated Liam's countenance, and for the first time in weeks, an authentic smile emerged from his previously guarded demeanor. Months later, Emma stood at the center of her newly inaugurated art gallery, surrounded by friends, family, and supporters. The atmosphere was charged with excitement as guests admired the artworks on display, all created by Emma and a cohort of emerging artists she had mentored. Liam had assisted her throughout the process, not with his affluence, but with his steadfast encouragement. He had insisted that the gallery was hers, both in name and essence, and Emma had invested her heart into transforming it into a sanctuary for creativity and community. As she interacted with the guests, she felt a tap on her shoulder. Turning, she saw Liam, impeccably dressed, with a playful glint in his eyes. May I borrow you for a moment? He inquired. Emma smiled. You already have me, but certainly. He guided her to the front of the room, where the crowd hushed as he faced her. He spoke with a smooth and firm voice, stating, You occupied the incorrect table that evening. However, from that instant, I recognized you were the right individual for me. The room resonated with gentle whispers of joy as Liam retrieved a small velvet box from his pocket. I love you for your strength, your kindness, and your ability to perceive beauty in everything and everyone, he continued. You have transformed my life in ways I never envisioned. Therefore, Emma Brooks, will you marry me? Emma's eyes brimmed with tears as the audience resounded with applause. She chuckled softly, wiping her cheeks, provided you pledge no further secrets. Liam smiled, his voice unwavering. I promise, he said. She nodded, extending her hand. Thus, their wedding was a modest, intimate ceremony conducted in the gallery, enveloped by Emma's artwork and the individuals who had supported their journey. Liam made a substantial contribution to the gallery's outreach program, guaranteeing that new artists would have a space to develop and flourish. This was Emma's goal realized, and now it constituted their collective legacy as the sun sank, throwing a golden hue through the gallery windows. Emma and Liam engaged in their inaugural dance. I am pleased that I occupied the incorrect table, Emma whispered, her voice imbued with affection. Liam drew her nearer, his smile kind. It was the most fortuitous error either of us had ever committed, as the music resonated and their friends and family observed with delight. Emma and Liam commenced their new chapter, cognizant that their love had surmounted every obstacle and emerged fortified. As the scene transitions, Emma and Liam are depicted dancing beneath the warm illumination of the gallery lights, their love emanating throughout the space. We are reminded that often, life's most significant moments arise from unforeseen errors. Emma's story illustrates that trust, forgiveness, and love can metamorphose even the most improbable beginnings into something remarkable. It serves as evidence that when two hearts are committed to one another, anything is achievable. If this narrative resonated with you, kindly express your approval and share it with someone in need of inspiration today. Additionally, remember to subscribe to our channel for more uplifting tales of love, resilience, and the potential for second chances. Thank you for seeing, and we look forward to your presence in the next narrative.